Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of UA Eats. I'm UA, and today we're at a restaurant that I've wanted to try for a really long time, the famous and legendary TickTock Diner in East Newark, New Jersey. Now, New Jersey is like the diner capital of the whole world, and there's lots of famous diners here. We went to another famous one on this channel, TickTock Diner, but a lot of people say that TickTock Diner is the best one, and locals and critics pretty much regard it as hands down the best diner in New Jersey. So we're gonna go in and check it out. It definitely has a different vibe than all the other diners I've been to before, and I've been to a lot growing up in New Jersey myself. I hear it's been newly renovated, so now it kind of still has that diner vibe, but it kind of looks like an upscale, almost luxurious diner, like kind of like a nice fancy restaurant slash neighborhood diner. So let's check this place out. We're walking towards TickTock Diner now, and we're gonna try it and see how it is. So come on. Okay guys, so we were lucky. We were able to pretty much walk right into TickTock Diner, but let me show you. It is like a complete madhouse in here. It is completely packed, and I am lucky that I was able to get a seat at all. Just look, it's the morning on a Sunday, and every single seat in this house is completely full. Lots of people are already in line to eat here, and actually a party of like 6 or 7 people in front of me was told that it was gonna be like a 30-45 minute wait. So luckily it's just me though, so I was able to walk right in. They were able to seat me right away, and luckily for me, they even gave me like a table, which will be good for the video, because with the table I'll have some privacy and I'll have some better lighting. I thought that they were gonna seat me at one of those booths there since it was just me, but you know, I'm not gonna complain. It's a good situation. Before we take a look at the menu, because we're gonna order a few things at TickTock Diner, the coffee came first. You always got to get a cup of coffee at an American diner, so my go-to is coffee with just milk, no sugar. So let's see how this coffee is, and if TickTock Diner makes some of the Tops coffee. You know, not bad. I'm gonna say it's not the best coffee I've had, but it's not the worst either. The coffee doesn't really have much bitterness. Like, my biggest pet peeve is when coffee tastes bitter, so it's kind of got some natural sweetness to counteract the bitterness of the coffee. So it doesn't taste bitter at all, and any remaining bitterness was canceled out by the milk that they gave me to add into it, and it arrives piping hot. You might not be able to see the heat lines anymore, but believe me, it's pretty hot, it's piping hot, but we'll sip that slowly during our meal. And let's take a look at their menu, why don't we? And they were kind enough to give me both of their menus. They gave me their brunch menu, and they gave me the full menu. So let's take a look at both of them. So this is their brunch menu, and every good diner prides themselves on breakfast. Very interesting that they have brunch cocktails, although I wonder if these are actually cocktails or if they're like non-alcoholic, just breakfast drinks. No, these definitely have alcohol in them. They got Bloody Marys, lots of vodka, and all sorts of spirits in these. As some of you may know, I don't really drink, so we're gonna hold off on this, why don't we? But just showing you all their offerings in case you guys are interested in a brunch cocktail. And then of course all their main courses, a lot of different options, a really big variety, all sorts of good stuff here. Can never turn down a great omelet. Hello. Can never turn down a great omelet. Hello. Hi. Want to say hi? Want to say hi? Want to show the world your face? No? Hello? No? Okay. Breakfast sandwiches, and we're in Jersey, so, you know, Taylor ham. We got some Taylor ham sandwiches here. Hard to turn those down. And I think these Keep It Fit options are like healthier ones. Although I'm not sure how healthy avocado toast actually is, but There's a perception of it as being healthy, at least. Yeah, these are all healthier things like oatmeal and things like that. Then we got your staples, pancakes in all sorts of forms, waffles, and French toast. But this server actually told me that chicken and waffles is a huge seller here, hence why it's outlined there. You know I can't say no to that because I love soul food, and I would expect to see that at like a soul food restaurant, but I cannot turn down chicken and waffles when I see it at a breakfast menu, so let's get that if it's the best seller. And then a quick look at their lunch menu. Like every diner, humongous menu, as you can see, at every diner. Basically, like I say, like the early cheesecake factories with like a ton of items on their menu. Makes you wonder how they're able to keep all this. Now, some of this is overlap with the breakfast menu, like pretty much the same exact stuff as the breakfast menu. So to be fair, about half of this is overflow. So it's really only these 2 pages of main courses that are the lunch/dinner items. So it's actually not too much, you know? That's good because sometimes diners I feel like have so many items that it's too many and they can't really focus on anything, so it's like jack of all trades, master of none situation. As tempted as I am though to get like spicy rigatoni or penne alla vodka at a diner, I think I'm gonna go with a cheeseburger. You know, burger, the ultimate American food, so therefore a staple diner food, so let's get one of these. Yes, I'm ready. I'm gonna try 2 things. So as you recommended, I'm gonna do the big chicken and waffles. And burgers here are pretty good.
Sorry?
Burgers here are pretty good.
I actually haven't tried a burger yet. I've been here for about 2 weeks, but they're selling during lunchtime. They're selling pretty much.
I'll just do the all-American burger.
How'd you like that cook?
Medium. Wow, guys, our food just arrived and it looks pretty good. Let me show you what we got. Guys, I can just tell at first glance, this is not your run-of-the-mill diner food. I mean, just look at this fried chicken. This looks like some really legit fried chicken. Definitely being hand-breaded and made from fresh chicken in-house. Can't wait to sink my teeth into this crunchy, juicy-looking batter. And the waffle, look at this waffle. I mean, when they said chicken and waffles, I thought that the thing was going to be served on top of the waffles, on top of like a round waffle, which is the way it usually is at soul food restaurants as well. But no, they have the waffle separate and they have the chicken separate too. So, yo, this is a huge portion. I think this was like 21 bucks. This is definitely enough for like 2 meals, maybe even 3. So, what a great price. And of course, I had to get a burger. Burger being like such a classic American food, so therefore a diner food as well. So let's see how the burger shapes up. Burger is looking good too. It's got some nice grill marks on it. The cheese is melted well. Fries are looking pretty good quality as well, and very generous with the lettuce, with the very fresh looking veggies on top. So guys, let's not let this food get cold. Let's just dig right in. Let's go with the leg first, my favorite piece. Winner, winner, chicken dinner, or breakfast in this case. Oh man, that is hands down the best diner fried chicken I've ever had. Hot and juicy on the inside, crispy on the outside. Can't ask for much more. Although I wouldn't say it's a perfect fried chicken. You know, splitting hairs now, this is already far exceeding my expectations. But if I were to complain about something, I feel that while the breading is crispy and delicious, the chicken on the inside is nice and moist and juicy. I do feel that the whole thing is a little bit under-seasoned. There could be more seasoning in the batter, more seasoning in the chicken. Like they probably could have marinated it more in buttermilk to give it more of like a soft, deliciously juicy flavor that you get from buttermilk fried chicken. The fried breading could be a little bit better seasoned, a little bit more salt, a little bit more pepper. I'm being serious. Maybe a little bit of MSG would take this over the moon. But don't worry guys, I'm not saying this is bad. Just splitting hairs now, the best fried chicken I've ever had in a diner by like 10 miles, just based on texture alone. Let's see how it pairs with the syrup. I believe this is syrup. It doesn't look like honey to me. That is honey, it's not syrup, that's honey. Everything I just said about that fried chicken, it lacking a little bit of oomph to take it over the edge, despite the amazing texture, I now see that's where this honey comes in. You gotta dip it in this sticky honey to really add like an extra dimension and different layer and flavor profile to this fried chicken. Because if you do that, it really elevates it. Amazing. Time to try a bite of the delicious waffle. Oh, look at how flaky this waffle is. Look at the way my fork just goes through it. Very interesting. I don't think I even need my knife. I think I can just cut it with a fork. Okay, first a bite without anything on it, just to taste that natural batter flavor. Whoa. I was not expecting that. That was just so sweet and flaky and balanced. Here, that was even a piece without much sugar on it. Let me try a piece with some sugar. This one's got more sugar. Oop. Gotta be careful the way I pick this up. I don't want it to crack under more pressure. Wow, that was pretty good. If I had one complaint, it's that I do wish that it was a little bit less, you know, fragile. Like I wish that this food didn't just, you know, go so, you know, disintegrate so easily. And because of that, like, it's definitely filled with air, so you kind of get less batter and it's less chewy. I still prefer if it were less crunchy and less fragile, but let me tell you, the flavor of this batter is just incredible. It's sweet, but it's not like super sweet. It's not overpoweringly sweet. Because it's light and airy, it tastes lighter, and I just have a feeling that it's gonna go really well with the fried chicken here. It is now time to combine the flavors. After all, it's chicken and waffles, right? Not chicken with waffles. So let's combine some of this flavor, why don't we? Get a piece of chicken there, some honey. Okay, so it tastes good, but to be honest, I don't think the flavors necessarily mix well. I think that's kind of why they put them on separate plates to signify that. I think the chicken tastes amazing on its own, especially paired with the honey, and the waffle tastes great on its own, so you shouldn't necessarily mix them. I'm glad I tried it though, but I would just eat them separately because separately they are things of beauty. Let's try more food. Let's review the burger. And we already commented on its appearance earlier, so let's just dive right in. French fry first. When it comes to these thin fries, I usually like to eat at least 2 at a time. Really, really good quality fries. I'm not sure if these are hand cut. They might be, but I'm not sure. I mean, they still have the skin on them, and they taste really much like fresh potatoes. But regardless, I mean, even if they're not hand cut, these are really, really good fries. Every bite is like a pleasant, starchy sensation. They're fried well, not too greasy. Do you know if the fries are hand cut?
If they're hand cut, I'm not exactly sure.
Okay. But regardless of whether or not these are hand-cut fries, they taste great. Great fresh potato flavor, not fried too oily. Like, let me show you. I don't know how many of you guys are Simpsons fans, but I rubbed them on the napkin, and look, not too much oil spillover, right? Not really soaking through the napkin. Pretty good. But all right, it is burger time. And I just found out the answer. They are not hand-cut, but they're good quality frozen fries regardless. So that's okay, because they taste great. All right, time to try the burger. Let's add their secret sauce. The color and the consistency kind of reminds me of Ed's secret sauce. I don't know how many of you guys have seen that movie Good Burger, but that's kind of what it reminds me of. Let's try it with the secret sauce. And let's see, there's a lot of ingredients here. So let's just make sure everything is well spread out. Don't want like a huge mouthful of onion, you know? Okay, life is often all about being decisive, such as with putting toppings on burgers. 1, 2, 3, yeah. Okay, I can kind of see why he did not really recommend the burgers originally. I mean, the burger, it's not like a terrible burger, but I wouldn't say it's a great one. The quality of the meat is not really high quality. These kind of taste like pre-frozen patties. I asked for it cooked medium. I'm not sure if that's medium. That might be more like medium well. But the burger is not quite as juicy as it could be. It does taste a little bit on the dry end. And unless they're like smash burgers, I usually don't like when they do double burgers like this. But yeah, the burger is a little, I might say mediocre and average and overall disappointing. I will say, let's talk about the good things. This bun is pretty nice. It's a good quality bun. It's nice that they toast the bun. Very good practice to toast the bun, not only for flavor and texture, but also it kind of prevents the burger from getting soggy. But yeah, now that we look at the patty all up, we kind of see that the grill marks are not really consistent, and it's a rubbery, pre-frozen looking patty, and not super appetizing. But more about what's good, besides the bread being good and toasted, the vegetables are all fresh. Fresh lettuce, fresh tomato. Unfortunately, the patty is just so off-putting that you can't really taste much else. I don't really taste the pickle or the onion, and the sauce, which kind of resembles Ed's sauce from Good Burger. The sauce also kind of gets diluted by the off-putting pre-processed flavor of the patty. So I gotta say, the burger is not for me. I learned my lesson, guys. Just generally always follow tips from servers. If they don't recommend something, don't get something. If they recommend something, they eat everything on this menu, or at least they know people here who have eaten everything, so get what they recommend. But we're gonna take this to go, and we're gonna rectify our mistake and try one of the pastas before we go. So can I get one more box for this? And what was the pasta that you said was really good? Fettuccine Alfredo?
Fettuccine Alfredo. I get it with the chicken though.
Okay, I will do fettuccine Alfredo with chicken. Thank you. Alright, the final item we're going to review is here. The fettuccine Alfredo. Oftentimes at diners, it's more along the lines of spaghetti and meatballs, chicken parmesan, although I guess diners can serve whatever they want, so I guess fettuccine Alfredo is probably still on the table. This one looks kind of interesting. I mean, it was heavily recommended by the server, although it kind of just looks like a standard fettuccine Alfredo to me. Like one that you would get at any Italian-American restaurant or even Olive Garden. Like it even kind of has like sort of that, like that Olive Garden plastic-looking noodle shine to it, which is a little bit strange to me. But let us not judge a book by its cover. Let's judge this book by how it tastes. Let's try a little bit more, why don't we? To each their own, of course, and if people like this, then, everyone has their own different preference. But yeah, to me, this isn't great. It tastes very mediocre. It tastes very average. Like these noodles are pretty soft and kind of have like a cafeteria noodle kind of texture and feel to them. So not the best quality fettuccine here. The chicken is very dry. Like when you kind of get those like strings like that, you know what I mean? Like imitation crab. It's very dry and a little bit off-putting. And fettuccine Alfredo is really supposed to be like a very thick and creamy and buttery, indulgent dish, but this sauce is kind of watery. It's not quite as creamy and thick and buttery as I usually like with fettuccine Alfredo. And as you can even see from the top, like I just mixed it to bring all the sauce from the bottom to the top, but you can see that the top layer is already almost dry, so like the sauce is watery and it's not really adhering to the pasta noodles well. So I gotta say, the fettuccine Alfredo, a little bit disappointing. I would say probably not a good idea to get this here. We've now reached the end of our review and it's time for our verdict. Tops Diner, like any diner in the US, I would say is a mixed bag. I mean, this diner has legendary status amongst critics, amongst locals, amongst foodies. People say that pretty much everything you get here is going to be great. But I would disagree with that. I think it kind of depends on what you get. I think like any diner, there's going to be hits and there's going to be misses. Just keep in mind that at the end of the day, this is still a diner and there's still like, you know, like hundreds of menu items on this. So not everything is going to be great just because there's so many items. They're not going to be able to make every dish outstanding. So keep in mind. The last thing I want to say though is that the atmosphere here, really, really good. The renovations are beautiful. It really still has that classic diner feel, but you also feel like you're in a nice modern trendy restaurant. So I recommend trying this place for the experience especially, and the prices, due to how huge the portions are, very reasonable. Every dish could feed you probably twice. So overall, eating here, still a success, I think. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed coming on this journey with me to yet another great eat and a great diner at that. Have you been to Tops Diner before? And what's your favorite diner that you've ever eaten at or that you like to frequent? Let me know in the comments because great minds eat alike. If you like my videos, make sure you like and subscribe. That way you stay up to date whenever I post another video. I'm gonna get this to go now, but until next time, I'll see you later.